Waters are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m., a group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Today on Rappler, former Senator Ping Lacson names the lawmakers in his version of the Napoles list. Senator Bongbong Marcos says there's reason to be concerned over the new Philippine-US defense deal. And China's state-run media says challengers to its territorial claims should pay an unaffordable price. Hello, I'm Chai Hofalenia. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Former Senator Ping Lacson names the lawmakers implicated by alleged pork barrel scam mastermind Janet Napoles in the biggest corruption scandal to hit the country in recent history. In a television interview Monday evening, Lacson named Senators Miriam Santiago, Francis Escudero, Alan Peter Cayetano, Gringo Honasan, and Budget Secretary Butch Abad as some of those who allegedly connived with Napoles to steal public money. On Tuesday, Lacson submits his version of the controversial Napoles list to the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. The list includes Senators Bong Revilla, Jinggoy Estrada, and Juan Ponce Enrile, who already face plunder charges over the scam. Also included are Senators Tito Soto, Loren Legarda, Coco Pimentel, Manny Villar, Robert Barbers, and J.V. Ejercito. Lacson's list also includes Agriculture Secretary Proceso ALCALA. While Lacson confirmed in a television interview Monday night that Santiago was part of the list, what he submitted to the Senate did not bear her name. Justice Secretary Laila de Lima warns against early speculations. She says the different versions of the list are creating more confusion. De Lima says she would submit her own list to the Senate on or before Thursday in compliance with the subpoena the chamber issued. Lawmakers implicated in Ping Lacson's version of the so-called Napoles list warned him not to fall for the supposed tactics of the alleged pork barrel queen. Lacson earlier named Senators Miriam Santiago, Francis Escudero, Alan Peter Cayetano, and several other officials in the scam. Santiago hits Lacson for naming the lawmakers in an earlier television interview, despite having only an unsigned affidavit of Napoles. She adds, the Napoles list, if unsigned, has no evidentiary value at all. Escudero also says Lacson and de Lima should not allow themselves to be used as Napoles' spokespersons. Cayetano agrees with Escudero, calling the Napoles list a weapon of mass destruction meant to confuse. Government records show the Philippines received at least 135% of the money the world pledged after Super Typhoon Yolanda or Haiyan struck. Based on the government's Foreign Aid Transparency Hub, or FAITH, the Philippines received close to 15 billion pesos or over $336 million in cash, more than the 11 billion pesos or over $248 million pledged. But Tacloban Mayor Alfred Romualdez questions the conditions the national government set for Yolanda survivors to receive the pledges. During a Senate hearing Tuesday, Romualdez says, quote, "What is rightfully ours should be given to us because, first of all, that's not their money." He says the national government should have a dialogue with the people and tell them where the money went. Budget Secretary Butch Abad says his department wants to speed up the release of rehabilitation funds. He adds the department will also prefer releasing funds to local government units for projects they can undertake. Senator Bongbong Marcos says critics of the new military deal between the Philippines and the United States have a basis to be concerned. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, allows the U.S. to build military facilities and pre-position defense assets in agreed locations that are yet to be determined by the two countries. While EDCA limits the agreed locations to existing Philippine military bases, Marcos says it's possible for the Philippine Armed Forces to establish new bases if the U.S. asks for them. While the senator says he saw the benefits of U.S. military assistance during Typhoon Haiyan, he thinks the defense deal may have been rushed in favor of the U.S. Philippine Panel Chair Pio Lorenzo Batino says the locations are limited to areas the military determines to be strategic for the two countries' mutual interests. By strategic, Batino refers to factors like maritime security, maritime domain awareness, and humanitarian assistance and disaster response. But Marcos says we are an archipelagic country, and that would mean anywhere. Tensions between China and other Asian countries continue to rise as state-run media says challengers to China's territorial claims should be made to pay a, quote, unaffordable price. In an editorial Tuesday, China Daily accuses Japan, the Philippines, and Vietnam of worsening situations in the region, encouraged by, quote, malicious third parties. It adds Beijing must make sure that every claimant knows blackmail and extortion will not work, and that it will not compromise its territorial integrity. The editorial also says the Philippines has singled itself out as a determined challenger of Chinese national interests and the devoted hatchet man of foreign anti-China forces. Philippine police earlier detained 11 Chinese fishermen off the disputed Half Moon Shoal despite Beijing's warning. Vietnam also demanded that China withdraw an oil rig it deployed in the disputed waters. China claims ownership over almost the entire South China Sea, which is also claimed in part by Vietnam, the Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, and Taiwan. It is also locked in a bitter dispute with Japan over small islands in the East China Sea. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 6, the United States begins flying manned missions over Nigeria to find more than 200 schoolgirls abducted by Islamist militant group Boko Haram. Experts study a new video that reportedly showed about 130 of the girls in Muslim dress praying in an undisclosed rural location. Group leader Abu Bakar Shikau says the teenagers converted to Islam and would not be released until their group's militant prisoners are freed. Nigeria rejects the demand. At number 9, the World Health Organization, or WHO, says alcohol kills 3.3 million people worldwide each year, more than AIDS, tuberculosis, and violence combined. The UN Health Agency says this translates to 1 death every 10 seconds. Warning about the rise in alcohol consumption, the WHO says more people in countries like China and India are also increasingly taking up the habit as their wealth increases. Still, Eastern Europe and Russia are home to the world's biggest drinkers. And at number 10, new research from scientists at the University of California and space agency NASA warn glaciers in Antarctica are melting. Time reports the slab of ice that makes up 10% of Antarctica's land ice volume could raise sea levels by 15 feet if it melts. Time cites glaciologist Eric Regnault, saying the glaciers have, quote, past the point of no return. He adds the retreat of this ice seems to be unstoppable. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. For our social media post of the day, in the internet age, every celebrity misdemeanor spawns countless memes. That's what happened when entertainment site TMZ released footage of Beyoncé's sister Solange Knowles attacking Jay-Z. Tweets of memes and videos hashtagged what Jay-Z said to Solange trended immediately as people speculated what could have triggered Solange's outburst. Hip-hop artist Snoop Dogg joined the party on his Instagram account. So did Australian DJ, MC, and gossip blogger Perez Hilton. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your mood comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories with the most clicks. For today, let's take a look at our big circles right here. In the middle is a story on China. This is the Chinese media saying territorial challengers should be made to pay an unaffordable price. This is based on an editorial by China Daily, given the tension in the South China Sea. This particular story got 89% of our readers angry. So that's 89%. About 8% annoyed, 1% inspired, 1% afraid, and just 1% sad. Another major story is Abad, ALCALA, and 12 senators in LACSON'S Napoles list. This is really the battle of the lists today. This got 86% upset and angry, 7% sad, 3% annoyed, 3% afraid, and 1% amused. This story is really very confusing, and it's creating a lot of mixed signals, and people just don't know who to believe. Another story is, these are actually stories from yesterday, and they still remain on the mood meter, the mood navigator rather. Travel, why I think the Philippines is Southeast Asia's next backpacking paradise. VP Nice Party launched, and Francis goes old school on Satan are stories from yesterday. All in all, if you sum up the big red circles, today most people are angry. That's Rappler's Newscast for today, Tuesday, May 13, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feed on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Chai Hofilenya. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today. We'll leave you with the story of Jaime Bontoc, the man who lost his loved ones during the onslaught of Typhoon Haiyan. This story by ILO and JP Gopez.
Parang nananagin pa rin ako ng buhay pang mga pamilya ko. Yung bahay naman namin parang bumagsak lang. Pumutok yung malaking alon. Sabi ko, yung mga bata. Oh, naipit ako. Doon ako sa ilalim ng dagat, doon sa lupa na. Pag binirikis ko yung yung parang tiles na mga brandillas na yan. Pag ahong ko, wala na tao. Tubig na lang. Yung ko, nawawala sa buhay ko. 14. Naalala ko pa yung pamilya ko ba. Minsan naglalasing din ako para makatulog ako. Hindi na ako makatulog eh. Pagdating ng Friday, doon sa bahay na yan na lumubog, naglalagay na lang ako ng kandila. Doon ako pag araw ng Friday. Nagsisindi na ako ng kandila doon. Doon ako din nagdadasal. Di pa ko kinuha kasi mayroon pa ako tutulungan siguro ng mga kaibigan ko nga ganito, mga kasama ko pag palaot ba. Yan lang, may matulong, kasama ko pa sila.